Hello everyone, I'm Fiend here, and in today's video we're diving into the magic system of Witch Hat Atelier. Out of all the fantasy manga out there, this series doesn't just have a unique magic system, it has one of the most intricate, balanced, and carefully constructed systems in the genre. Instead of relying on flashy incantations or overpowered abilities, it builds its magic on rules, structure, and consequence, and that's what makes it so special. So let's break down exactly how it works. Witch Hat Atelier is set in a quiet, beautifully illustrated fantasy world where magic exists, but not in the way that most people believe. To the general public, magic appears to be an innate gift that only certain people are born with. These individuals live as witches, studying in secluded ateliers, traveling between small towns, and using their craft to help society through carefully regulated spells and enchanted tools. Magic in this world isn't chaotic or flashy, it's precise, structured, and treated almost like a technical discipline, governed by strict rules and long-standing tradition. Beyond its cozy countryside villages and towering libraries, there's also a deep layer of secrecy surrounding how magic really works. Witches operate under a powerful code that controls what spells can and cannot be used, hinting at a complicated history that shapes the present. The result is a world that feels both warm and whimsical on the surface, yet quietly, mysteriously underneath. A place where curiosity can change everything. Before we get started, I would like to state that there will be some spoilers from the manga. Now let's get on with the video. In most magic-based manga, characters activate spells by shouting a spell name or chanting a long incantation. But in Witch Hat Atelier, magic is cast by drawing detailed magic circles called sigils. At first glance, that sounds simple. Draw a circle, cast a spell, easy. But the reality is much more complex. Every line, symbol, and proportion matters. The size of the circle, the symmetry, and the accuracy of the markings all affect the final result. Even small imperfections can drastically change how a spell behaves, and each sigil is made up of three key components. The rune. At the center of every sigil is the rune. The rune determines what the spell actually does. For example, there are runes for wind, water, fire, earth, and light. Think of the rune as the spell's core concept, but the rune alone doesn't define how the spell behaves. The keystones. Surrounding the rune are small markings called keystones. These shape the form of the spell depending on which keystones are used. A spell can stay self-contained, travel along a predetermined path, shoot outward in a specific direction, or spread across a surface. Two spells with the same exact rune can function completely different depending on the keystones attached to them. This is where the system really shows its depth. The glyph. Finally, the outer border of the circle is called the glyph. This might seem like a finishing touch, but it's actually the activation trigger. The moment the glyph is completed, the spell activates. That means witches can prepare incomplete sigils ahead of time and activate them instantly by closing the circle. It's a clever system that rewards preparation and precision. To become a full-fledged witch, apprentices must pass a series of 5 trials known as the Pentacle of Proving, also called the Pentagram Test. Consent of the Crown. Witches must travel to the Dada mountain range and, using limited tools, fly to floating rock formations to retrieve the rare diadem herb. Passing this trial earns them the right to choose their teacher. Sincerity of the Shield. This trial takes place in the Serpentback Cove. An apprentice must guide a penguin-like creature called a merfen to its wintering grounds while wearing the mirror cloak of Burrow Shade, which disguises them as another creature. They can cast spells, but only if the teacher doesn't see them doing it. Passing this test allows witches to cast magic publicly. Query of the Kiviv. We haven't seen this test yet, but those who pass it may attempt the librarian trial at the Tower of Tomes, granting them access to the library's vast magical knowledge. Goodwill of Her Grace. Details are still unknown, but passing this trial makes a witch fully independent and officially graduated. Words of the Wise. The final and most mysterious test, those who pass it are permitted to take on apprentices of their own. Magic in this world isn't just about talent, it's about tools. Ink wands. Despite their name, these function more like fountain pens, which has used them to draw sigils, and they can even be custom made. Conjuring ink. This is the true foundation of magic. Without it, even a perfect sigil won't activate. The key ingredient is wood core, extracted from the silverwood trees. Once processed, it can be mixed with additives to create special properties like invisibility, durability, or waterproofing. Palm quires. Small portable notepads that allow witches to carry pre-drawn spells. Many sigils are prepared with incomplete glyphs, making activation quick and efficient. Attire. Witches wear large cloaks with white sleeves, not for the style, but for secrecy. The design allows them to draw sigils discreetly without being noticed. Beyond everyday tools, witches create magical devices called contraptions. Some examples include seal shoes, wind sigils on the soles allow flight, guidance orbs, points towards a desired location or person using a related object. Mirror cloak of burrow shade creates an illusion that disguises the wearer. Glowstone path light up when stepped on, helping travelers at night. Beast warding towers repel dangerous creatures from roads. Instant staff creates temporary shelter from surrounding terrains. Vapor bubble generates a floating sphere of water from various uses. What's great is that not all contraptions are for witches. Many are made to help everyday people, grounding magic in practicality instead of spectacle. Spells can also be layered together to create stronger or entirely new specs. For example, students combine multiple sigils to distract a dragon in another dimension. The float glow lamp combines levitation and illumination. The mirror cloak merges mirrors and shadow gathering sigils. Gifrey and Olrugio combine spells to fight a magical leech during the Silver Eve festival. This modular design makes the system feel almost like magical engineering. One of the most important pieces of world building is the pact. Long ago, magic was widespread, anyone could learn it, but people began pushing the boundaries, using body altering spells, mind control, teleportation without gates, or other dangerous magics. So certain witches decided to ban these spells entirely. Healing magic was also forbidden, since it could lead to resurrection or immortality attempts. To enforce this, they used a memory erasure sigil to make the general public believe that magic is something you're born with, not something learned. From this split, two factions emerged. Pointed hats protect the secrecy of magic and uphold restrictions. Brimmed hats reject restrictions and believe magic should be freely used. And enforcing the pact are the Knights Morales. The Knights Morales ensure witches follow the rules. If someone violates the pact, they intervene using memory erasure staves. They can wipe recent memories, or in severe cases, erase a person's knowledge of magic entirely. Magic in this world isn't lawless, it's regulated, controlled, and policed. Unlike the typical fantasy stories, the Chosen One concept here is handled differently. Coco isn't powerful because of prophecy or destiny. She's called a child of prophecy by the Brimmed Hats because she refused to accept that magic was something you had to be born with. While everyone else simply believed the lie, she questioned it. And because she isn't deeply conditioned by the pact, she's more willing to experiment, even if that means brushing up against forbidden magic. It's a grounded, logical take on the trope. Plenty of anime and manga use magic systems, but Witch Hat Atelier stands apart because everything is built on rules, preparation, structure, and consequences. From sigils to tools, from contraptions to laws, it feels less like random fantasy and more like a fully developed magic science. And that's what makes it so compelling. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the magic system of Witch Hat Atelier. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe.